Hey everyone, Retire on Dividends here, back to make another update to my options trading journey. Again, if you're new to this series, I make a video once per week where I discuss, the various options trades I made during the week. And my options strategy is pretty simple. I do the wheel, right? I sell puts, I sell calls, and that's it, right? Obviously, you see this little spreadsheet, which I do share in my Discord. It has all the formulas too and the visuals, but this is the kind of the visual of what the wheel is. You start with selling puts. If you get assigned, you sell calls. If not, you sell more puts. And if you sell calls and you get assigned, then you sell more puts, and so on and so forth. And here's the wheel. All right, makes sense? Apologize if I'm losing my voice, but it's slowly dying. Actually, I could taste a sip of water. All right, let's get to it. So here on this tab is my watch list. Now, I'm really losing my voice. I'll zoom in at the top. So my favorite tickers to trade are TSLL and TNA for the most part. I just love it. TNA is definitely one of my true favorites and the one I feel most comfortable with. TSLL, I mean, you can't go wrong. It's just a little more volatile for sure because Tesla flies. TNA, the good thing about TNA, it's based on an index. It's based on the Russell. Although it's 3x leverage, it's still based on an index, and that's what matters. Misty, I mean, it was fine. It was great while it lasted, but I sold a bunch of puts. I got assigned, and I'm way too far away from selling calls, so they're not really in the playbook anymore. Unless I actually just want to buy more, then I'll sell a put to buy them. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Soxol, I hope to welcome them back soon. NVDX, I'm also actively trading. That one should move up actually, as far as one of my favorites. MSTU, I haven't touched in a while since they kind of like whooped my ass. And then there's TQQ and UPRO. I'm going to start probably using them at some point this year. Just, play it safe though, use low delta as they say, and then, in hopes of, not getting assigned. But if you do get assigned, your delta should be so low that, you would hope that it would recover. But again, lately the market overall has been pretty rough. And then there's BitX, which is a 2x leverage fund of Bitcoin, which is pretty cool too. So that's my watch list. These are the ones that I have in my mind that I will or are trading. Now here's the money. Here's where my money is, right? Right now, this is for the Retire Now account. I have $19,000 in high yield ETFs, 19,913.30. That's 40% of the account. I have $24,806 in assigned option stocks. So these would have been puts that I got assigned on, and I actually own the shares. So I'm probably selling calls on them. And then pending options based on the value today, negative 2,185. So total options action right now is consisted of 45%, which is really exactly the goal that I had in mind from the beginning. So that's okay. And then we have the cash. Right now I have 7,231 in cash, which is 14% of the account. However, I do have some options that are pending, which you'll see in a moment. As far as margin, how much margin do I have available? 19,313. That's the margin to withdraw. And that means this is the amount that I can actually take from the account. As you know, I have bill pay on this account, so my mortgage does come out of this account. So this is the margin number that I always use. This number needs to stay in the positive. Margin to trade, this is basically the margin amount I have to trade with, 64,000. This does, anything above 19, I can't use that money to leave the account. If that makes sense. Cash on hold, those are the pending options I just spoke of, 12,670. And that's actually greater than my cash amount. So if I did have these get assigned, I would have no cash. And I would fully be using margin at that point, getting charged interest. Right now, I'm not getting charged any interest because it's just considered cash on hold. All right? Anyway, let's move on. No questions again, but again, this was a new section. So if you guys have questions that you want to put in the comments, I will review those questions and answer them via video on the next week video. So if you have a question, please type in the comments question for the video and then write your question. All right, I'll be happy to answer it. It could be anything. I don't even care. It doesn't even have to be options related. All right, so let's move on. Let's see what happened this week. So TNA, as you saw that cash on hold, is from these trades. I have 3 puts pending on TNA. TNA, just so you know, they are at $30.94. I have 3 puts on them. A 34, a 38, and a 40. All of them are in the money, as you can see. 9% in the money, 22% in the money, and 29% in the money. Now, I've been rolling these out to various weeks, 321, 328, and 44. And the reason is I don't want to get assigned right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm pushing them aside. Again, this is cash on hold. It's mostly the margin that I'm using on this. And it's interest-free. And this is in hopes that the stock will recover, TNA will recover, and eventually I could just let them expire worthless. That's my hope. Until then, I will roll these out in expiration. Probably not down in strike, because unless there's a good opportunity where I could still get a decent credit and do that, I will. But more than likely, I'm just going to keep rolling them out. So, for example, next Friday, the 34 expires. This one's actually the closest to having a chance of expiring worthless, because you saw TNA's at 30. So it's only $4 apart. But again, it's more than likely TNA is not going to be at 34 by Friday. So what's going to happen is I'm going to roll this during the week. I'm not going to wait till Friday. I'm probably going to do, earlier in the week or latest Thursday, hopefully by Wednesday. I don't know. We'll see. But what I'll do is I'll roll this out again, and I'll roll it out the week after 4/4, because I'm putting one out each week. I don't know why. I figured it'd make it a little easier, so I only have to worry about one per week, and that way I can make money on each one per week. So next week I'll make some money on this roll, and it'll add to the income. And then the following week I'll roll that one, the 38, and I'll make money on that. And then it'll be like every 3 weeks essentially. So I think that'll be pretty cool. Let me know what you guys think. But yeah, that's what I'm doing with that. Again, this is kind of like an interest-free loan that I'm doing, selling puts on TNA. I could add another, and I could just add that to the rolling party. Why the hell not, right? But, I got to, control myself, of course. Just because it's working now doesn't mean it's going to work later. They could, of course, assign me early on any one of these at any point in time. But with the far expiration date, I'm hoping that's not the case. All right, moving on to the trades this week. Let's start at the top, TNA. Again, my cost basis is horrible. Just to show you guys real quick, TNA, my cost basis is $41.33. All right, so that's right here in blue. All right, so let's go back to this sheet. So I can't sell calls at $42, right? There's not going to be any premium worth a damn there. So what I'm doing is I'm selling calls on TNA far out of the money. So earlier in the week, on March 10th, TNA was at $30.31. I sold a call at $35. At the time, it was 15.47% out of the money. So I sold a call within the same week. I said, you know what? The odds of it going up 50% in 1 week, probably slim, but I'll take my chances. And guess what? It ended up only 13% out of the money. So this one actually expired worthless. I've got, for the troubles, I got 21 cents per share, or $21, which was a 43% annualized yield. So again, this is kind of, not part of my original strategy. I was never going to sell calls under my cost basis. But of course, things change, so I have to change. My strategy has to change, and it did. And I'm still earning options premium on positions that I'm kind of underwater on. All right, so that's for that position. TSLL, same thing. I'm underwater as well. My cost basis on TSLL is $17.22. TSLL is at $9.22 currently. So what I did on March 11th, again, I don't know what day that is. I should probably put the days, actually. That would help a lot now that I think about it. TSLL was at $8. I sold a call at 1050 strike. That was 31.25% out of the money. So that's way out of the money. And it actually ended up closing. It was still out of the money when it expired. So it did expire worthless. But it did go up, which is good, but it didn't go up to 1050. So that's obviously, I didn't have to take any action. So for my troubles, I got 10 cents per share or $10 in total premium. And that came to a yield of 105% on an annualized basis. All right. Moving on to the next trade, NVDX. I sold a call at $9. At that point, actually NVDX I play a little differently. This one actually I'm not as bad. I have a 9 and I have an 11. So what I did is I sold each one at its exact price. So the 9, I sold a call, right? It was 10% out of the money. In the end, it was actually getting close to in the money. So what I did is I did a rolling order. I got $20, by the way, for that trade. But down here below, I rolled that sucker right here. So I did a buy to close and then a sell to call and then a sell to open. So I paid 83 cents to close it, but I'm sorry, no, I paid 43 cents to close it and I got an 83-cent credit. So I sold a call for $9 for this week, and then I rolled it to next week. And between the two, I got $60 total, which is awesome. So you can't go wrong there. NVDX, I love NVDX, man. I'm doing really well with it. And actually, the other day, 313, I said, you know what? I'm going to get back in the put game. It's been a while. I've been only selling calls. I'm going to sell a put. I sold a put on NVDX. At that time, it was $8.97. I sold a put for $8. It was 10% out of the money. Now it's actually 19% out of the money, which is good. I got 36 cents per share or $36, and that yielded me 205%. This expires next week, though. All right. I also sold a put on TSLL. Why the hell not? At that point, TSLL was at 822. I sold a 670 put. It was 18% out of the money at that point in time. Now it's 27% of the money. Probably close these early, by the way. But for now, I'm just going to let it ride. I did get 28 cents per share or $28, and that's a yield of 190%. So again, having fun, making money in this down-ass market. TNA, I sold another call. TNA on 313, it was $30. I sold a call at $35. That's 16% out of the money. Now it's 13% out of the money. And again, that expires next week on 321. For my troubles, I got 21 cents or $21, which yielded me a 31% annualized yield. Again, better than nothing. Got to be careful because I don't want to get assigned on those. And by the way, if TNA closes above 35 next week, my plan is to roll it out. Out and probably up, because then I'll have to inch my way up in strike price until either TNA comes back down under the strike or until I can boost it up to at least my cost basis. But I'll worry about that. Again, if it recovers, great. That's wonderful. And I'll figure out how to get out of that. But again, I'm testing the waters. I'm testing the market. You want to recover? Fine, let's do it. I'll take that chance. All right, NVDX. I also sold a call as you saw. I have another position at $11, so I sold a call at $11. 20% out of the money. It paid 17 cents or $17. 85% yield. Can't go wrong. So again, NVDX, I got assigned a 9 and I got assigned an 11, and I sold a call at 9 and I sold a call at 11. So if I get assigned on both of them, fine. It's a wash on capital and it's a premium income. This NVDX position we spoke of, so I'll skip that one. And then last but not least, TSLL was at 908. I sold a call, $11 strike, 21% out of the money. That's 15 cents per share, $15 in income, 86% yield. And TSLL, I actually did have an 11 get assigned. If you look up here, that was my last one that got assigned. So guess what? I do have my settings lowest in, first out, basically. So the lowest strike price will be the first one to go. So if I do get assigned here, my $11 position cost basis will be the one to go out, and it'll be a wash on capital. But again, premium income, baby. That's what it's all about. All right, so that's all the trades for this week. If I scroll down, I don't know if this is even updated. It's pulling up to what, 350? Yeah, so this should at least drag it down to 363. 6.3. There you go. All right, so for the month of March, again, I'm kind of slacking. I'm just getting new to this strategy. I made $567 in options premium. Again, this is for the Retire Now account. I also do have dividends coming in from high yield funds. I do have 400 Misty shares. I have about 1,000 Ulti shares. So, they're helping me out. They're going to help me pay the mortgage. Of course, I do want to, hit some numbers. I kind of want to beat February. I'm probably not going to, though, unfortunately, based on the position that I'm in. We'll see how the market recovers, though, and then we'll go from there. All right, so that's the update there. Let's go to the TSLL tab. So as you saw, I only have one call that's pending. If TSLL continues to recover next week, then I could look into selling calls maybe at a $12 strike price. And again, that'll be like a 1-to-1 as well. And then, unfortunately, the next jump up will be 16. So I'll have to see how to play it. Again, my cost basis kind of sucks right now. So I have to play around. Obviously, you saw, I'll sell calls under my cost basis. I don't give a crap at this point. But I have to be safe about it because I don't want to get assigned and have a capital loss. But again, we'll see how that all plays out. Options premium income so far on this wheel, I made $854 or 94 cents per share owned. TSLL, again, it's at 922. My cost basis is 1722. I do have a put party of 1, a put pending for 670 that expires 321. If that gets assigned, obviously my cost basis would lower drastically. And I probably would let that get assigned if it happens. NVDX, I have 200 shares, again, one at 11, one at 9, and I have 2 pending calls on both of them. So we'll let those play out. NVDX is currently at 988, and then I have a pending put at $8 that expires on Friday. Would I let that get assigned? Probably, because that, again, would lower my cost basis on all of these. TNA, I originally had 300 shares. 100 got assigned. I made a $100 profit on that, which is great. And then we still have another 200 shares. Currently, I have a pending call on 100 of those. I'd like to sell a call on the other 100, maybe Monday, if hopefully we're green. We'll see how that plays out. And again, TNA is at $30.94. My cost basis is $41.33. But again, I'm not letting that affect me in my options trading journey. So as you can see, the put party is a little different for TNA because I'm underwater on these puts. So I'm just doing rolls until it recovers again. So again, this is more, treat this as an interest-free loan. I'm just borrowing the margin on these puts. And I'm just going to roll them until TNA recovers. As long as it takes. I really don't care. It is what it is. If I get assigned, then I'm going to sell calls on those, again. So it's like, it's going to be fine. In the end, this strategy is freaking awesome. Like, it's amazing. Obviously, if the market went down like 50%, not amazing. But even then, you'll find a way to make money. And that's the beautiful part. Like, it's really, if you had the time, like, I don't have any time really. I have very little time in my day. And I still find, again, ways to make this fun. You guys, I'm telling you, man, it's time to learn options. It's time. And I really hope when I do have more time in my YouTube space, I can teach people better, different strategies. All right, last but not least, we have the Misty tab. As most of you know, I did get assigned 400 shares on Misty. My cost basis is pretty damn horrible on this as well, $27.75. Misty's at 20. I'm not going to sell calls under my cost basis. And the reason for that is Misty Premium is just not worth it for the movement that the underlying could have. So I'm going to treat this. This is basically a temporary buy and hold. So if Misty stays at 20 for another year, then guess what? I'm just going to hold it. I'm not going to sell calls. I'm not going to do anything. The only thing I may consider is if I make more money, right, I could sell puts and get another, I could lower my cost basis and get another 100 shares, right? Like right now, if I had the money, I'd sell a put at $20 easily. No problem. I'll do a month out, let it develop. If it gets assigned, great. If not, so be it. But again, I don't have that kind of money right now, and I don't want to put that kind of risk on my account. So that's the reason I'm not doing that. So for now, these 400 shares are just going to pay me a sweet-ass distribution. All right, monthly, we haven't come to another month cutoff, so let's just go to the weekly income. For this week, I only made $208, which is less than usual, unfortunately. But again, I'm not going to force anything if I don't have to. Next week, hopefully I can make a little more money, but time will tell. Capital needed for that $208 income was $11,852, so that's a yield for the week of 1.75%. And if I annualize that, that's 91%. So, again, not fantastic money, but good enough, better than just sitting around waiting. Now, again, the hypothetical, how much money do I need to retire? I don't freaking know. How about 300? 300K would give me a comfort level. So, yeah, I mean, my actual rate of return right now is 58% based on my last update. So if I had $515,000 in my account, I could make $300,000 pretty easily, to be honest, which would be $25,000 a month and $5,769 a week, and I could live off that. Me personally, I have a family of 4 right now, so obviously, and young kids, and that's still I would make that work. Would I leave my job though, if I had that type of capital, type of income? Probably not. I don't know. I again, it's hard to say because. I'm not. I don't know. I just want the option to. That's basically the sweet spot. I just want to know that I can retire at any point in time. If I'm having a rough few weeks, a rough month at work, and I'm just gonna put in my 2 weeks. Or you know what? Let me ask. I'll go part-time. I'll work 2 days a week, and that's it. That would be the perfect scenario, to be honest. Just because working 5 days, yeah. I know, that's life. Get over it. But if I had the choice, yeah, I'd probably still work. I'd just work less. Because 5 days, those 2 days on the weekends, it don't leave much, Because there's always activities. There's always crap to do. But if you have a few days off during the week, man, you can't ask for more than that. So that would be just so life-changing for me. Plus, I can go to the freaking beach in the summer with my kids. You can't go to the beach on the weekends. It's freaking nuts. I'd love to go to the beach during the week. Again, these are just things I think about retiring early because, I don't want to be freaking 65 years old. Oh, now I can go to the beach and I can't even freaking walk on the sand. But I don't know. I think you get what I'm saying. Anyway, my average rate of return, though, on my options trading is 222%. Of course, I know that's unrealistic, but if it is realistic, I would only need $135,000 in capital to produce 300K, which is pretty interesting numbers. So, and you look at these numbers, and it's all possible because, you look at YieldMax, that's what they're doing. How are they able to pay such high yields? Options trading. Options is amazing. It's a side of the stock market that everyone needs to learn. And again, that is my goal. When I retire, my goal is to talk about options a lot. Of course, I'm probably still going to cover trades on the options ETFs because there's a lot of people that would rather pay an ETF the expense than them do it themselves. So covering both sides, of course, would be wise. But either way, it's an options freaking party, basically. So I'm going to have fun with it. But until then, obviously, you get what you get and you don't get upset, right? The minimum, the coverage that I'm able to do, that's pretty much maximum capacity. But hopefully you guys are enjoying this content. If you are, please let me know in the comments down below. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. But of course, as always, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. And this video is for fun and entertainment, so hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, we will try again next time. All right? Sound good? But yeah, that's the end of the video. Just want to say, again, thank you for watching. If you have suggestions or if you have questions, let me know in the comments down below, and I will answer them next week. All right, I'm done yip-yapping for now. Voice is dying out, kind of. Feeling a little better. I need to go for a run, but I kind of feel like shit, but who the hell knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. Let me have a second cup of coffee finally. But anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys enjoy your day. Later.